Joining us for our very interesting fireside chat on accelerating the journey to decarbonization and moderating the session will be Ms. Divya Sharma, Executive Director, the Climate Group. And as I extend a very warm welcome to her, let me also present to you our speakers. We have with us Ms. Shalini Kapoor, IBM Fellow, AI App, CTO, Environment Intelligence Suite, member, IBM Academy of Technology. And what a delight to present to you Ms. Neelam Gupta, Vice President and Head Sustainability, COE, Capgemini. Looking forward to this very, very interesting session right here. Over to you, Ms. Sharma.
Thank you, Isha, and welcome Shalini and welcome Neelam. It's a pleasure to be part of this fireside chat, and I look forward to the beautiful conversation that we are going to have today. I know this is a very short session, and there's so much that we can learn from both of you, from your work that you've been doing and we have been looking at. So I will straight away get into the questions. May I request Shalini first, the first question to you, please. Given the focus on decarbonization and industries and governments focusing on sustainability, can you give your point of view on IBM's position as a key technology provider on this critical topic?
Sure. Thank you, Divya. So sustainability is definitely a very top agenda topic for most of the organizations. The consumers today, right, 43% of the consumers are willing to pay over 100% premium to support the brands that are sustainable and environmentally responsible. So naturally, the organizations get pressure to develop their products in a manner which are sustainable in nature. In fact, this is a talent market, and 7 in 10 workers say that they're more likely to stay with an employer who has a good reputation on environmental sustainability. So, of course, the organizations have a lot of commitment from a climate perspective, from corporate responsibility perspective, to fight the climate change and be sustainable for their products, for their sites, for their processes, and for their people. Now, IBM has also committed net zero greenhouse emissions by 2030, and we are actually prioritizing our actual reductions in our emissions and increasing clean energy usage across all like 175 countries where we are operating from. Now, how we are doing it is that we are bringing and building a lot of technologies, and we are developing them in IBM Research, and it could be technologies about developing new materials, new methods for carbon capture, so that the emissions can be removed and it can either be equal or actually exceed the level of IBM's residual emissions. Now, when we develop these technologies, and we also observe that the whole sustainability is about optimizing your supply chain, right? Like we did a survey and we found out that 7 in 10 executives are saying that sustainability development goals can actually improve by operational effectiveness and agility in the supply chain. So it is about reaching your supply chain sustainability goals, which means you have to have an accurate real-time view of inventory. You should be able to share your data across the supply chain ecosystem in a trusted way. The companies can reduce waste, and they can have a lower cost to serve to customers by applying AI. For example, AI can detect signals, and it can detect future trends, optimize your inventory, optimize fulfillment of it has to come from this warehouse and not from the other one. It can improve the whole supply and demand planning itself, right? So there's a lot of AI which can be applied in demands planning, supply planning, inventory optimization, fulfillment optimization, and there are logistic related emissions which can optimize fulfillment and delivery, and a lot of AI models can help in that logistics delivery. When we look at the cloud platform can help a lot in greater supply chain visibility, having really up to the last minute inventory views, enhance performance insights from advanced analytics. And of course, companies are building like network, multi-chain networks on blockchain. So technology, it is definitely a very large technology play. There is AI, there is cloud, there is blockchain, and all apply to the supply chain. And it is also a lot about the data platform, because the data is today in multiple systems. So how do you put the right data platform and make it available at the right time? So to achieve your goal in sustainability, it's ultimately technology which is going to enable it, let you meet the goals, and even tell you if you are not meeting that goal. And those goals can be product centric, site centric, process centric, right? So you can have multiple views for that. So I would say that technology is going to make it even better. And if you want to meet the climate goals, one more point I want to add is that the climate risk part of it, right? How is the disruptions going to cause because of weather delays or weather issues, or maybe a flood risk at a certain place? These kind of things just change our behavior and cause so much of disruptions that we have to level set so many things. So we are also talking about climate risk as to how can we predict the flood in certain area, how can it impact our businesses. So these are other technology domains in which we have been investing deeply.
Thank you so much, Shalini. That was quite insightful, the pioneering work that you are doing on technology development, and also the wide chain of processes that you've just described across the board that can help not only in efficiency generation, but also long-term sustainability. So thank you very much for giving us those insights. Neelam, can I come to you now? My first question to you will be, we know that industries and businesses have an important role to play in achieving net zero target, but we need the scale. Can you give us 3 most important steps in bringing more companies to be part of this process?
Agreed that the scale is needed, really. Let me give you a little bit stats on what kind of scale we are talking about here. Just a small one, we're talking about the electric vehicles, around 700,000 electric vehicles, 25 million solar panels, and 400 million vehicle chargers that we need to meet this challenge. Just imagine all the decisions that need to be made, all the physical things that need to be installed, the workforce transformation that need to be done. It's quite a lot of transformation we are talking about all across, right? From the technology, the people, even the consumer, the behavior of the people, the communities, all the transformation we are talking about here. When we are talking about the companies, actually, from my perspective, actually companies and business have already realized that addressing climate makes the good business sense. It's not only the compliance issue anymore. It's a good business decision. So if you talk about the companies who have actually made their targets in the greenhouse gases, they are saving money, they are actually increasing sales, and which is making them more competitive. So, but we still need more and more commitments, more and more companies to really commit to these net zero targets. So how do we do that? In my view, there could be maybe the 3 top things that come to my mind that will drive the companies commit to the climate change a lot more. One is the policies and regulations that always drives a lot of the things. If we'll see more and more climate laws coming in. So in the past, if you look at from past few years, they have grown like 10 folds, 20 folds, and if you compare it with the 90s. And they are going to increase. So the companies will need to really adopt and comply with these policies, and that will make really things moving a little faster. The second could be the partner pressure. Like we are seeing huge increase in the sustainable procurement side of it, where more and more companies are asking for the sustainable procurement, where they are asking for companies to really comply with those sustainability norms that they are expecting. If they don't comply, truly, like they're not going to get that business. The third thing that I see is the consumer pressure that Shalini talked about. More and more consumers are asking for traceability, and they are ready to pay the premium that is that if the particular brand provides it. So these things will definitely make companies to make the specific choices, and that there are more efforts in the to reduce their carbon footprint. So, but at the same time, while they do all that, transparency is most important. It need not be the only the commitment. Actions is also most important. So these are the three top things that are coming to mind.
Wonderful. I like the point that you started with defining scale, because we've seen that always we use it as a sweeping remark saying we need economy of scale or we need to scale up, but it's hardly understandable, or it's really not very clear always that what would this scale mean. And thank you for quantifying that for us. I think you talked about policies and regulations and completely agree with it. I also think that there should be consistency across the board around policies and clarity of intent. Besides, of course, as you said, from the side of the businesses, compliance and adoption is extremely important. And both Shalini and you have pointed out about the consumer pressure. So can we understand that there is a demand? I would guess that is what you mean, that the demand is already generating and the market is ready, so to say. This brings me to another question to Shalini. Shalini, tell us more about how IBM, with its suite of offerings, is taking on the industry and helping clients with its solutions.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I would like to talk about our recently launched offering. We launched it in October. It's called IBM Environmental Intelligence Suite. This brings together AI, weather and climate risk analytics, carbon accounting, and a lot of operational data into a single SaaS solution to address climate risk and sustainability objectives. So essentially what we have done is we have used our AI expertise, our automation innovations, and cloud, and of course our deep and decades old expertise in data, and brought it together in this suite. Also, as you all would be aware, the weather company, which is ranked as the world's most accurate forecast overall, it's an IBM company. So we have taken weather APIs and we have put into this suite and tied all this together so that then we can give it to our clients who are in asset management or supply chain, or any retail sector or insurance sector. And if they need valuable environmental insights, they can leverage this suite. Now this software, while it brings together multiple expertise, and there are AI models into it, there's a dashboard which helps you to monitor, and for example, if your vehicle is going on a highway and you want to have a weather alert as to what kind of weather it will face when it reaches its destination. So it can give all these effects, all these things from an alerts notifications perspective. It can help manage climate risks which are affecting business operation, and it can help you meet your sustainability goals, because what we have done is we have included carbon APIs, which are scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. We comply with all scope 1, scope 2, and some scope 3 emissions. So based on the goals which an organization would like to keep, they can apply these APIs to their existing applications, or figure out that this is a travel cost for shipping an order, or this is the energy consumption at my site, because all these APIs have been created. That helps in precise accounting, definitely, and that precise accounting will help them meet their goals. Now, these environmental intelligence suite can be used for sustainability. It can be used by retailers. It can be used by energies and utilities, by supermarkets, And we have also added some more modules into it, like, if energy and utility company wants to know and find out how to lay the power lines, how much the tree should be cut so that it's not less, not more, for them to lay a power line. So we have a vegetation management module. We have for aviation, for large aviation customers. We also have agriculture for soil and soil moisture, and we do a lot of geospatial analytics to be able to bring together and then do the impact and we have an impact modeling framework which help in the whole climate risk data. So it is about analyzing, maintaining massive amounts of heterogeneous and unstructured data, which is our forte, and that's what we bring into this. It is about building the framework for a lot of climate risks, and essentially from a sustainability perspective, it is a lot about applying these carbon APIs. We're also working from IBM scientists are also working on greenhouse gases protocols and designing new AI-based carbon footprint reporting and tracking and optimization of the whole emission framework. So these kind of emission details, it will make calculations happen within minutes instead of months, and then that it will help you take the right decision, that whether I need to ship a product from this area, or whether this inventory level is okay, or do I need to reorder, what will be the carbon footprint if I reorder at this stage vis-a-vis I reorder like 2 weeks later on. So the environmental intelligence suite has been our response to this entire climate and sustainability, and we are infusing AI into it and adding more models. Like, we even add natural language processing techniques so that you can actually accurately report on emissions in spite of the data's country of origin. And shipping logistics companies, they are able to collect data at the granular level, how much fuel each truck is consuming, and based on that they are able to calculate the carbon footprint. And that's what organizations are wanting. They're saying, I want individual fleet data, or I want operational fleet data, and I want to figure out what my carbon footprint has been. And the visualizations that we have built in, so it's on one side it is a lot of data ingestion, but on the other side, on the top side, it is a lot about visualization for a sustainability officer or for a business unit lead. So it's a persona based visualization that we have built. So that's how we are shaping our suite, and a lot of technologies built in IBM research are brought into this suite. And we work a lot with partners, like Capgemini is a partner, and Neelam is there to work with us across in our sustainability COE to see how we can jointly address clients and then put these solutions in front of customers.
Great. And when I was listening to you, I was also thinking about deployment of these technologies so that planning and decision making can happen because of what we are getting as in terms of information and data from use of these technologies. So I completely agree with you. And I think by what I'm listening, the future looks quite bright. And that brings me to my next question to Neelam. Neelam, what are some of the policies and programs you have deployed or initiated at Capgemini around this end?
If we talk about a little bit of journey of Capgemini, it has been almost a decade we have been focusing on reducing our climate impact. So there is 10 years of experience that has actually evolved over the period of time. But now we have actually announced the increased ambition. So which is in two-fold target that we have taken. One is the internal target for ourselves, and one is external target. So internal target, when you're talking about, we have the ambition of being carbon neutral by 2025 and net zero by 2030. We had the initial science-based target that we had taken to reduce our per employee carbon emission by 30%, which was reached in January 2020, which was almost a decade ahead of the schedule, before even the COVID-19 lockdown. And how did we achieve on that? So mainly there were two focus areas. One was the business travel, another one was the energy consumption. For business travel specifically, we drive down the business travel through virtual collaboration, rolling out the platform of the virtual collaboration across the group. There were some employee engagement activities that were done for them to really choose the sustainable travel options. Those are the things mainly more for the travel related carbon emission. On energy side, we have almost doubled our the portion of the energy with the coming from the renewable sources, right? If we talk about 2018 to 2019, we have almost doubled the portion of the renewable energy. In addition to the converting into the renewable energy, we're also focusing on making the energy efficiency across the board, which has, if we talk about the per square meter of energy reduction, we have brought up approximately 18% of the efficiency that we have brought in our operations for only the energy consumption. From the external customer facing side, and talk about, we have committed to reduce 10 million tons of CO2 for our clients through our services by 2030. To address that, we have actually recently launched the sustainability offering framework, more from the services side of it, which covers end-to-end services from helping customers building their ambition, commitment, building their new business models, to the acting upon it, like sustainable operations, sustainable products and services, IT, and what Shalini talked about, all of the data platform for the monitoring and the visualization of it. So that is the framework that was released earlier this year, and we are already supporting many clients implementing those services, and looking forward to really expanding those along with the partner solutions, which we can really help customers and meet our external targets as well.
Thank you so much, Neelam. And thank you both, Shalini and Neelam, for this informative and thought-provoking fireside chat. It was a pleasure speaking to both of you. Thank you, Economic Times, for having all of us here, particularly me, and for having this all-women panel in place. So congratulations for that, and thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Sharma. Thank you, Ms. Kapoor, Ms. Gupta. It's been a pleasure having you share your thoughts with us. And this special women's session has really added so much value to our platform. I'd like to thank all three of you for joining us and being such a spectacular part of our show. It's been a delight having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And once again, for the benefit, thank you so very much. And once again, for the benefit of all our viewers, let's make sure that you're all very aware of the fact how much we're looking forward to your inputs in our survey. So please do share your views with us, because a lot of exciting gifts await you. I'd also like to request you to please stay on. In just a bit, we're going to bring to you yet another interesting panel discussion. So please do stay tuned.